The next thing we need to worry about is lighting. Now without proper lighting you get all sorts of horrible effects. Nasty shadows, fuzzy edges, badly lit backdrops, all sorts of things. Now again there's an awful lot of choice and the prices range considerably. So I'm going to tell you what I use and why I use them, and also the difference between the different sets of lights you're going to see out there on the internet. Adding to that some little tips and tricks about where you should be positioning them for the best effects, and you've got everything you need to choose those lights. So let's go and check them out. When it comes to actually filming something, you need to make sure your lighting is correct. Without proper lighting, then it's going to look like a load of rubbish and you're going to have a really hard time trying to get that green screen out of the background as well. Now we've already mentioned that you need to have a green screen with a really flat colour, and lighting can actually make or break this as well, because if you've got too many shadows, things like that, then you're going to get all these different greens in the background and it's going to be no good to you. So there's a couple of different types of lighting, and the main difference is how it actually diffuses the light, but also the price points as well. Now I'm going to go with what I use first, and that's the umbrella lighting setup. Now I've nipped over to my good friend Amazon once again, and you can actually see how inexpensive these actually are. Now you probably think that a decent lighting setup is going to cost you a lot, but it really doesn't. Now this particular kit has the daylight bulbs with it, which are very important because it gives a nice natural feeling light, so it's not too harsh. But it's also got the umbrellas which are there to diffuse the light. Now the reason this is because the bulbs just on their own would be way too harsh and it would just create awful shadows and things like that. So what you do is you put the umbrella in front of these, and you actually get the stands with this kit as well, and it diffuses the light. Now the way this light source works is a bit like outside. It's like standing out with the sun shining on you or something like that. So it's quite a wide area of light and it will light it up, which is why you should use two of them. My actual setup is an umbrella either side of me, and I can actually show you in one of the stills from the videos we've been working on where they're actually positioned so that you can see what I mean. Now as you can see, they're close enough to me that they're affecting me and they're lighting me up, but they're not so close that I've got horrible shadows behind me. Now some people actually use a third light as well to light up the background to make that more uniform, but when I'm doing green screen I find that the position I've got with them is just right. I stand just far enough away from the screen that I haven't got an awful shadow behind me, and this way I can actually take the green out nice and easily later on. You can also see from this that the lights are positioned just above my eye line level. This is so that when the light shines on me, it's lighting up my face rather than giving me a sort of Halloween under the chin type look. If you can, then you can always have the lights on that are in the ceiling of wherever you're working anyway, and that gives you kind of a third light effect from the top as well. But honestly, I've done this with and without, and it works just fine whether you got the third light or not, in my opinion. I'm sure you'll agree that this setup works just fine with the videos you've been watching. The next type of lights that a lot of people work with are actually called softboxes. Now these are much the same again, they've got the same bulbs behind them, but instead of having an umbrella which diffuses it in a kind of wide pattern, these are more controllable. It's kind of like the light you would get coming through a window, I suppose, and the shape actually adds to this as well. But it means that you can focus them more, and it also means that you've got a slightly flatter, kind of smoother look to the actual light source. Now the thing is, these are more expensive because there is more to them, and personally I don't have these because I just don't think I need that extra part for what I do. You can see the results for yourself of what I've been getting with the umbrella setup, so you can decide if that's good enough for what you want, or whether you want to go this extra step and this slightly extra cost and get these instead. But as I keep saying, I'm all about saving money where I can, so the other things do the job perfectly well, so I'm going to recommend the umbrellas over these to save you some money. Now some people ask about a DIY type situation when it comes to lighting because of the fact they don't want to spend out on the kits. But the thing is, the price has come down so much that sometimes you're actually going to spend more building your own kit than you are actually just going out and buying something from somewhere like Amazon. But if you did want to make your own stuff, or if you had some of these things already, then I can see how that would save you money. So just briefly, I'm going to let you know how you could build a lighting rig by using DIY materials. Now the first thing you're going to need is something like this, which is a clamp light. Now basically this is just the housing for the daylight bulbs that you need to buy. And if I just scroll down here quickly, you can see there's some here, and if we just have a quick look at those, you can see what sort of price you're looking for that as well. Now this is a pack of 4 for $25. The actual clamp light itself is up here at $10, so now we're looking at about $45 to add the two. Then what we're going to need is some sort of stands. Now these are roughly $25, so that's just put it up to $70 for the set. Then we're going to need some diffusion paper. Now the diffusion paper acts like the umbrellas and that do to actually soften the light so it's not too harsh on your face. And this is going to cost us another 10, and you can see how this is building up. So as much as I said I'd give you DIY examples for these sort of things, honestly, in my opinion, you're better off just going and buying a ready-made kit. Now back to this one again, it's only $48 and it's got everything there already and it's built to purpose. So as much as I'm all about saving you money, my money saving tip when it comes to lights is to actually just go and get the kit. It'll save you the time and the hassle, and there's also the safety issues in mind if you don't put it together quite right, or you get something that maybe heats up with the daylight bulb. Now I wouldn't want that on my conscience, and these things are built for the purpose. You'll be happy that you did, because lights are a very, very important part of this setup. Without good lights you can't get the good quality footage that you need, and you certainly can't take the background out for the green screen stuff we've been doing. There's plenty to choose from, just go on here and choose the one that suits you the best, but you don't really have to spend anything above this sort of price range. It's also worth noting that when it comes to green screen and lights, you can actually buy complete kits. Now the kit that I bought all in one go. And this can save you even more money. Now obviously if you've taken the option to paint the wall that we discussed in the green screen video, then you don't need another green screen, so the kit isn't an option for you, which is why I didn't cover it in that one. But if you haven't got any of these components, then you can go ahead and you can buy a kit like this one, and you can get everything in one go. And that's exactly what I did. Now this kit has actually gone down even more since I bought it. I got mine for around £110–120, and at the moment I'm in the UK, so obviously I'm looking at the UK site to show you the thing I got, but this particular one is now at £88. Now that's next to nothing when you think about it to set up this entire kit. So another great tip for saving some money is buy them all together so that you get that discount. As with everything, shop around a little and find the best price for you with the kit that you want. Just take on board the tips I gave you about the green screen and the lights, and you won't go wrong. You'll be making fantastic videos in no time at all.